What's up, flamethrowers? It is me, Flame the Dragon Hog here, and due to popular demands, I am back with some more creepypasta stories. Now, before I get started, I just have to apologize for not doing them as much. It's just that it's really hard to come up with some creepypasta stories, and not to mention, I have to do all this research trying to find them, and, because there's many different varieties of different stories based off of one creepypasta. So, yeah, that's one reason why I haven't, been doing them. Another reason is because, new creepypastas have been coming up more and more and more. So, yeah, it's just really hard to keep track of them. So, yeah, but don't worry, guys. I am back due to popular demands. Creepypasta Stories is coming back. So, don't worry, guys. We are back with more creepypastas. And today, guys, to kick off my return for doing creepypastas, we are going to be looking at the story of one of my favorite creepypastas. And she is definitely one of my favorites. The reason why is because she's part of the Jeff the Killer saga. You guys have to look into that. It's really awesome. But anyway, guys, may I present to you Jane the Killer. Now, for those of you guys who don't know who Jane the Killer is sort of like the female version of Jeff, almost. But her story is a little bit different from Jeff's. So, guys, I'm going to be telling you guys the one creepypasta story that I know very, very well. It's a little bit of a Valentine's Day creepypasta story, but you guys are definitely going to love it. Anyway, let us begin. Now, if you guys want to see more creepypastas, please hit that like button and let me know in the comments down below which creepypasta do you guys want me to tell you the story of. Because, like I said, there's many different creepypastas out there. That's why I haven't been doing them, because, it's just so hard to keep track. But anyway, without further ado, let us begin. Jane the Killer. February 14th. As we all know, is Valentine's Day, right? But Valentine's Day will not be the same. It would just be an any ordinary day for a little girl by the name of Jane. She was just a typical little girl. She was just a typical teenager. She loved hanging out with her friends. She loved hanging out with her family and lots of things. And then everything changed when a new family moved in across the street. She looked out the window and noticed that one of the boys caught one of her glances. Caught her attention. But we'll get to that real quick. You see, it was almost Valentine's Day, and all of Jane's friends have asked her the same question. So, what boy asked you out to the Valentine's Day dance? Sadly, she hasn't been asked out yet. She hasn't been asked out yet at all. So she thought, since Valentine's Day is right around the corner, it was almost going to be too late. It was raining as she was walking back home from school. And soon, as she was turning around the corner of a fence, she noticed something horrible. 3 boys were beating up on another boy, trying to rob him. And right away, Jane recognized the boy that they were beating up. It was her new neighbor, Jeff. The boys saw that Jeff didn't have any money, so to pay him back for wasting all of their time, they punched him right in the stomach. And then they just left him in the rain, all bloody and bruised up and soaked in the rain. After when the boys left, Jane slowly walked over to him and hugged him really tight, trying to see if he was okay. When Jeff slowly opened his eyes, he saw right into Jane's beautiful green eyes. His heart was pounding, and so was hers. For the first time in their lives, they actually were face to face. they were in love with each other. So every single day, they would go out and do all sorts of things, like go out on dates and lots of things. And then the big day happened for Jane. The day Jeff asked her out to the Valentine's Day dance. Jane could not believe it. She was about to go to the Valentine's Day dance with the boy that she loved the most. She absolutely loved it. She was really happy. She was really happy. So, on the night of the dance, they entered the school auditorium. They entered the school auditorium and they began their romantic night. Jeff was wearing a nice black tuxedo and with a rose in his pocket. As a corsage. Jane, she was wearing black heels, a rose in her hair in a bun, and had a beautiful red sequenced dress. And they felt so close to each other. They felt so close to each other as they danced the night away. Jane, she separated from Jeff for a little bit just to go get some punch. And when she returned, Jeff was being carried outside by the 3 other boys that picked on him the first time. The boys dragged him outside to finish what they started. But Jeff, something inside him snapped that night. Soon, he immediately started to fight back against the boys. He fought back against the boys. He kicked, punched, and stabbed each and every one of those boys. He dumped gasoline on them, and he soon ignited them. Jane, she was outside watching that horrifying scene, and Jeff had that creepy look on his face. He had a horrifying smile as he was pleased with his work. But what Jeff didn't know was that he was also catching on fire as well. The next day, Jane, she was really worried about Jeff. She passed out from what the horrifying scene happened. And she woke up in the hospital. Jane's mom and dad, they were standing right over her, making sure she was fine. They made sure that, she was okay. But her main concern was Jeff. Her mother and father told her to never mess with that boy ever again. To never see him again. To never even talk to him. But, of course, she didn't listen, and she ran all the way to Jeff's room. Jeff was lying in his bed, all bandaged up from head to toe. It was just horrible. She apologized for what she's done. She felt like it was her fault. That the one she loved the most turned out to be a murderer, a serial killer, no doubt. Days passed, and after when both Jeff and Jane left the hospital, things were a little bit different. Things were really different towards them. Jeff, his attitude changed also. It was absolutely horrible. Few days after that, Jane heard something downstairs as she woke up. As she woke up in the middle of the night, she heard a noise downstairs. And so she went downstairs to investigate. She entered the kitchen and accidentally stepped in some gooey stuff. As she flicked on the light, she saw it was blood. And then she looked over to the dining room and saw Jeff was there, sitting in a chair, along with her parents, with their throats slashed. Jeff also changed as well. Due to the fire, his eyes were sunken into his head, a whole lot smaller, but he still had that giant grin on his face. His hair was no longer blonde, but it was black. He had this creepy look on his face as he eyed Jane. "Come sit down with us, Jane," what he said to her as she let out a horrifying scream. Jeff soon got up from his seat and walked over to Jane. "Don't worry, Jane. I understand now. You're afraid of me because, I'm too beautiful. But don't worry. That's all going to change after what I'm done with you." Jeff reached into Jane's kitchen cabinet and pulled out a bottle of bleach, poured it on her, and set her on fire. It was just horrible. Luckily, she did manage to survive. That day in the hospital, she suffered 30-degree burns. And it was just a horrifying sight. She went into the bathroom to look at herself in the mirror, and it was absolutely horrible. Her face was absolutely burnt. All of her hair was gone. Her face was burnt, bloody, and everything that was beautiful about her was absolutely gone. She spent many days in the hospital, but then one day she got a package in the hospital. Inside was a note, a mask, and a black wig. The note said, "Don't worry, Jane. Put this on and you too will be beautiful like me. But don't worry, soon we'll be together, I hope." But what Jane didn't know was that Jeff really, really hurt her. Jeff really put an edge, really just hurt Jane so much. She put on the mask and put on the wig. She stole a knife from the cafeteria and began her murderous spree. As Jane the killer, searching for Jeff the killer to take her revenge. So, from this day forward, she murders anybody who tries to get in her way of revenge against Jeff the killer. But who knows if Jeff and Jane will either duke it out in a battle or they'll rekindle their relationship for each other. Who knows? Maybe one day Jeff and Jane the killer will love again or die trying. Well, guys, that's it for this creepypasta. What did you guys think? My opinion is, I feel really bad for Jane. Like, she really didn't deserve to, have her face burnt off like that. I mean, she was just waiting for the perfect guy. But I guess, guys, you know what they always say, there's no such thing as the perfect guy. And plus, not to mention, everybody's hiding stuff about them. Everybody's got something to hide. Of course, when people meet each other, like when they have like a boyfriend or a girlfriend or something, let's just say there's just some things about them that most people don't want to find out. And when they do find out, it just changes their relationship very, 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 I don't know. But anyway, guys, what did you guys think about this creepypasta story? just let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, guys, oh, and also, guys, since I do have access to the Creepypasta universe, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to bring Jane the Killer onto the channel. Because I'll be more than happy to bring her on if you want me to. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this creepypasta, please leave a like and comment down below. And also, let me know in the comments what other creepypasta do you guys want me to tell the story of. And guys, I never thought I'd say this, but it just feels so good to be back doing creepypastas. Because, guys, there's another reason why I really don't like there's another reason why I haven't done any creepypasta stories in a long while. It's because, believe it or not, guys, I have this crazy fear thinking if I talk about the creepypastas, they might come after me. That's, I know it's silly, I know. But don't worry, guys. I know for a fact that these creepypastas, they're just stories. They're not actually real. They're just stories to not only teach us life lessons and stuff, but it also wants to, give us a little bit of a scare. But anyway, like I said before, guys, that's just another reason why I haven't been doing these creepypasta stories for a while. But don't worry, guys. Since you guys enjoyed them a lot, I'm definitely going to be doing them more and more. So, yeah, guys. Anyway, like I said before, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment down below. And also, let me know in the comments what creepypasta do you guys want me to tell you guys the story of. And also, if you guys are not already subscribed to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so that way you guys will be up to date whenever I post. And also, guys, great news, we're only a few more subscribers away from 1K subs. I really can't wait, guys. I honestly don't know what the heck I'm going to do when I hit 1K. I really don't know yet. But I'm still thinking of something. But anyway, guys, this is Flame the Dragon Hog signing out for now. Later, flamethrowers.